feeling is absolutely awesome. The back end come out there nicely, you didn't have to let off the throttle, and by no means am I saying I can handle a rear wheel drive car, because I can't, but this just makes a novice driver look very good. Honestly, when you see it from the outside, it looks epic. Such a good thing. Honestly, this MDM mode and then the rev matching as well that you can get done with that is oh, before I hit the curb. Welcome back, guys, to another video. And today, as you can see behind me, back in the M4 cab, I've done a couple of minor modifications, changes to the car, so I thought I'd show you guys just to see what's been done and what I think about them. So yeah, that's the video for today. Just a few little modifications. They are actually well worth doing, I'd say, in my opinion, to one of these or any of the F series M-Power cars. So yeah, and I'll go through them on the actual walk around, and then I'll give you my feedback as per usual. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured on the channel, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com. Email address will be at the bottom of the screen here, and it will be in the description as always. And yeah, we'll be more than happy to accommodate. So yeah, not sure if you guys can notice what the difference on this thing is, but to me it was like a night and day difference. I bought this car completely standard. There was nothing at all done to this car, and my actual ideal M4 or M-Power car would have had a few touches to it, and that is what I plan on carrying on doing with this car, just to make it into that ideal M4 that I would have bought, you know, already done up. But yeah, so the first thing what I've actually gone ahead and done is to get rid of that dreaded arch gap. The standard height is up to about here somewhere, and honestly it looks horrible. So it's sitting on Eibach Pro lowering springs and 12mm spacers on the front, which you could probably see down there somewhere shining away in them ceramic discs. So yeah, and honestly it's so much better. The stance on it, I mean, just take a look at that. The stance on this car is far better. The standard, I mean, I'll put a photo up here of a standard M4, and I've gone for the usual, you know, 12mm on the front and 15mm on the back, so it sits kind of flush to the arches, which is probably the best way to go about doing it, because it really emphasizes then the actual bulge on the arch. And it's obviously lowered on the Eibachs, so, and it was a modification that was well worth doing, definitely well worth doing. I mean, just have a look at that. When they're actually sitting lowered, they have got that real special look about them. Honestly, I think they look way better. They've got an aggressive look to them, especially like when you look at them on the front end. They're like really they like shout at you almost. Another thing I actually do plan on doing, which I haven't got, is either change that for a black one or get that kind of like coated in black. But yeah, that is another thing to get done. And aesthetically, the only other real modification on this car I've done on the outside is the M4 competition kidney grills. Black kidney grills, I think, were a must, purely because the standard car came with chromes, which they all do, to be fair, and I think chrome kidney grills on this caliber of car, this kind of car, I think is a big no-no. It's on a normal diesel, you know, sort of M Sport thing, yeah, you get away with it. When you're talking M3, M4, anything like that, and I think when they stick on these chrome grills, I don't think it really does the cars any justice. That's my opinion. and I just don't think it looks very good. So the black grills are actually a mega modification that is well worth doing. Right, so here's another feature on the car that I only really found out about a few days ago, really. So yeah, once you've got your roof down, there's the boot space, and there's always this button here which I've never really figured out what it was there for. But check this out: if you keep the one on the left, the upside one pressed, makes a couple of noises, and then all of a sudden starts raising up. Just gives you a bit more space to load the boot with your shopping. That is very thoughtful of BMW, to be fair. I think it's yeah, man, that's actually quite a very decent feature, because one thing you realise is there's not really a massive space here to put your shopping in or whatever you want to put into the boot once the roof is down. But yeah, that's actually quite awesome. And obviously Performance Lifestyles, subscribe to our channel. The car was actually quite clean only a few days ago, but in this day, at this time of the year, it's very difficult to keep them clean and for a very long period of time, especially when you drive them every day. So but yeah, it's a good feature. So the inside is actually completely standard, as you probably seen on the actual review of this car that I made a couple of months back. The video is already uploaded on our channel. This car came with a decent spec list, so you know, I went ahead and purchased it. And the biggest thing for me was these ceramic brakes. They were like something like a £6,000 option, and there wasn't many M4s that I've seen about, unless you were paying like 40 odd K, and with the ceramic brakes. And the other thing that actually I forgot to mention on the previous one was the wind deflector. It's actually got a wind deflector and a slot for it behind the rear seats, which is quite neatly tucked away. Disc lock, obviously, it's a must-have on any desirable car, I'd say. There's too many scumbags about. The front end on these M-Power F-Series BMWs is actually quite aggressive, and this is another reason why I think they should actually be sitting a little bit lower than the factory spec. I know the competition wheels are 20s and they do sit a little bit further, but the thing is, these 19s are probably better for comfort, and the 20s I know are known to be a bit harsher, the competition wheels. But I mean, it's just this front bumper, all these vents here, everything on this front bumper is actually quite aggressive. It almost, when you see it coming up behind you, it's almost like it's going to eat you. This is the thing with these cars, and especially once they've been played about with remapped and stuff, they are, you know, 600 horsepower plus or thereabouts sort of cars. And rear wheel drive, the moment you get your traction down, if you get your traction down, they're an absolute beast of a car. Honestly, an absolute beast of a car. In standard form, they're good enough, to be fair. I can't knock them. It's such a stunning sort of car. It is such a beautiful car. But yeah, we'll catch you on the drive, and I'll go through the other modification that's been done. And trust me, you want to get this done to your car, because it's well worth it. I kept seeing a lot of stuff about the updates they could get done on these cars, with the GTS updates more precisely. So I managed to finally convince myself to get in touch with a chap from Birmingham called Z Coding. Now, Z Coding, I can't recommend the guy highly enough. Honestly, the guy is such a professional guy, such a wicked guy to deal with, and very, very helpful. So I basically got a hold of Zed and actually, purchased the package that he had on offer, the remote update. So I had everything done while sitting at home. So yeah, and honestly, it's such a wicked thing. Now, even driving this car normal, one thing I did notice was the gear change just became really smooth. Even in normal mode, comfort sort of mode, efficient mode even, it became really smooth. There was like no delays, no nothing. It just changed effortlessly, which is what I was expecting this to be anyway, after reading up the reviews and stuff and reading up about what the GTS software does. So the gear changes have been absolutely awesome. Other than that, obviously, when you put it into sports mode, on the other hand, that's where it's made a world of a difference. Honestly, such a big change for not a great deal of money. Because I know Z offers these packages at, you know, around 150 odd quid or something. So I mean, I'll put a link to his Instagram, his Facebook page in the description and at the bottom of the screen here. So do honestly feel free to check him out, read the reviews on the guy. He is quite possibly one of the, you know, the best guys out there. He offers quite a few of the packages as well. So, and yeah, read up on that. I'm sure you'll get to know what I'm talking about if you don't already. I've got M1 mode set up with Sport Plus, everything on Sport Plus, and the MDM. So it does allow a little bit of slip, which is fantastic. Well, it's a bit dampy-ish out there today, so we just got to be a bit careful. Right, the other thing was, it's like now we're downshifting. Seriously, it's so good. The gear change has just become bang rapid, absolutely rapid. Not that it was slow in the first place. So if you've got one in standard form, you think, no, it's good enough, the gear change and all the rest of it, wait till you get the GTS software update done, if you do it. It honestly changes a lot of things. The steering is another ECU they update. So what you do actually get is the steering feels a lot heavier and a lot more connected, because at first it was a bit light and a bit like wishy-washy sort of thing, which is standard with BMW. They're not very so much a focused car. And as I've mentioned all this on the review for this car on our channel, so do actually check that out. But the steering feels a lot heavier and a lot more connected, and the MDM mode, which is, it lets the car slip out so ever so slightly, but it will catch it before you completely and utterly make a fool of yourself. So, and it's so good, but just obviously be careful when you do use that. It's perfect on track or in Mexico. So it is actually a very good thing to get done, and I highly recommend it. And the Diff as well, it updates, it gives the GTS software on the Diff. Now this allows more power to get put down, or the power to be put down better through corners. That guy in front of me just nearly swayed across the road. It allows the power to be put down better around corners, and the actual, you know, RS6, beautiful. And it is literally better exit from corners when you're flooring it and you're not, back end's not going all over the place, and it's honestly such a good thing to get done. Now I opted to get a couple of other things done as well, which was the stop start. I've had that disabled as standard, so it's, but not disabled, sorry, turned off as standard, so you have to turn it back on rather than the other way around as it is with a standard car. The puddle lights come on in reverse, so do the M sort of logo lights on the headrests. Seatbelt warning, video in motion, longer text messages on your iDrive. So just the usual sort of stuff. This doesn't have a rear camera, and I know you can get that done, so it zooms in as standard as well. When you put it into reverse, it just kind of like zooms in slightly. It is each to their own, and there's a few other options as well. So, and do check them out, like I said, on Zed's Instagram, Facebook and social media accounts. He's got a list of what coding can be done, and, you know, pick and choose what you like. So, but the other thing actually is, I've also noticed, and now I don't know whether this is a psychological thing with knowing that I've had these updates done, but the moment you rev it up a little bit, the actual in Sports Plus, when the valves are open on the exhaust, it sounds louder. When I say rev it up, when you're in gear and you kind of like boot it a bit, it automatically does sound a bit louder. Now we're in second gear, it's Sports Plus, everything's in Sports Plus, and it's and there's that little raspy sort of thing at the end of the revs, and it's I can't say I've noticed it before, but like I said, it could automatically just be a psychological thing because I know the software update's been done, but it's the gear changes, bang, seriously fast. It's actually improved the drive of this car, and like I mentioned on the walk around this car, I actually really enjoy driving this car. My intention wasn't to actually drive this as a daily, but it's kind of like turned into that as well. I kind of like push myself to just jump into this and drive this every day. It's so good. It's not the fastest car I've had, it's not the most focused car, but I think it offers a very good sort of package overall, and even more so now that I've had it lowered and it's, you know, the space is fitting. And I know it rides a little bit different, but I think it rides a little bit better, a little bit firmer, I'd say, if anything, which is great, really, honestly, which is very, very good, because these cars aren't really focused as much as I would have hoped from the factory. So giving it that firmer sort of ride actually does improve, and obviously with all the GTS updates, I think it's kind of like a complete and total package. Is very good. And as I mentioned, I've got a couple of other touches that I need to get done to this car. It's just a matter of finding time now to get them done, or I might just do it myself, depends, see how it goes. So I hope you've enjoyed the little video. It was just literally briefly just to show you guys what I've actually done with the car so far, and what I think about it. And as you could probably see from the video, I actually think I've made such a good choice. The lowering of the car was something that was a must. I think the gap on the arches was way too much. Spacers again were a must as part of the lowering kit. I think spacers without lowering looks good. Spacers and lowered slightly. Eibach's is probably ideal. It's perfect. And the GTS software update is highly recommended. Honestly, highly recommended. It's improved an already impressive car. So get it done, guys. If you're on the fence about it, like I was for a little while, and ahed about it, honestly, I think it's a must. Get it done, because you will not regret it. So yeah, like I said, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles. We're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. We've got plenty of content uploaded already on our channel, and we've got plenty of videos to come. And like I said, we've got a review of this actual M4 on the channel already, so do feel free to check that out. Yeah, it's a wicked car. I love it, and I've still got it, which is probably, as you've realized, I don't keep my cars for too long, but this one, yeah, I'm actually enjoying it so far. So yeah, it's good. Best of both worlds. Roof on, perfect. Roof off, perfect. And I know a lot of people call them hairdressers cars, but no hairdresser here. And as per usual, guys, stay safe, and we will catch you on the next video.